It is that time for my response to a tweet. And today's tweet says, Trump is a fighter. He's been leading in the polls for 8 months. Next is the nomination, then the presidency. Hashtag Trump. Trump is a fighter. He's been leading in the polls for 8 months. Next is the nomination, then the President of the United States. Hashtag Trump 2016. Oh boy. For all you Trump people, I would hope that you would listen and stick around to listen to the show so that you can get some good advice. But most likely you probably won't. And this is going to cater to why you won't in my response. Wow. But anyway, here I go. When did we redefine the definition of tough? Or redefine the definition of fighter? Especially tough. You know, here's the deal. How can a person be so tough and use the word nice to me? Unless you're nice to me. Tough people don't use that word. Tough people have very few words. Tough people have actions. We have fundamentally redefined the word tough. Tough is an action-oriented praise. You know, our soldiers are tough. Why? Because they endure some grueling environments and they have to stay focused, and they shoot and they get shot at and they still have to stay focused. They have to hear what the mission is and stay focused on the mission. So our soldiers, they're tough. They carry 100-pound backpacks and rocket launchers and pistols and ammunition and MREs, very little food. See, they're tough. They're people of very few words, but people of major actions. And they take the action upon themselves. They look out for each other. They carry each other out of the field of battle if one is wounded. If they call for support, they do it in a tough way. They got to stay focused. They give grid coordinates. They encrypt the messages. They got so many moving parts and they stay focused. That's just the definition of tough. I mean, you know, football players, professional, those guys are tough. They create train wrecks every single play, and they get back up and they're ready for the next play. They lift hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of pounds of weights and things like this, and they get juiced up, and not juiced up steroids. I'm not talking about that juiced up. I'm talking about get juiced up like emotionally. We look at them people as tough. Michael Jordan was tough. Michael Jordan went on the basketball court, and it didn't matter how big or how small, he handled his business, scored 50 when he's sick, and all these things, not looking for a reason to get out or nothing like this. That was tough. You know what's tough? This is tough. When a kid can go to school knowing that he's going to get bullied by a person like Donald Trump, some oversensitive, full of himself individual that thinks that they can make anything happen because they're big and they got money or whatever thing they're tripping on. That's tough. That kid that still goes to school, gets straight A's, and know he's going to get beat up by a Donald Trump. Knowing he's going to get beat up by a Donald Trump supporter. get made fun of because he thinks different or he functions different. He plays the clarinet, and Donald Trump people play drums. All they doing is just beating the heck out of stuff. That kid that's getting bullied and still showing up to school, he's tough. He's not the one running around demanding somebody to be nice to him. He would appreciate if somebody would be nice to him, but a person like Donald Trump wouldn't be nice to him and then demand somebody to be nice to him. See, we done redefined the definition of tough. How is Donald Trump so freaking tough when he has to run to the courts over 140 times to help him? How is he so tough if he has to run to the government and use eminent domain and stuff like this to take somebody's house? I thought you was a master negotiator. You couldn't negotiate the woman's house from her without using some help and running to somebody help me. She wants money. That's what you want. See, you're a bully, dude. You're not tough. And anybody that supports you, they're doing just like liberals. They're trying to redefine the definition of tough and trying to make everybody eat that foolishness. You know what's tough? Ben Carson is tough. Saves people's lives. The media makes him feel unappreciated. The polls make him feel unappreciated. And he's still in the race. He's been bullied by your tough guy. Not running around demanding somebody treat him nice. He's been robbed and stole from the other so-called tough guy, the constitutionalist Christian guy. Still not running around demanding somebody to treat him nice. Ben Carson is tough. Barack Obama's not tough. But more so, Donald Trump is not tough, people. Megyn Kelly got that boy running with his tail between his legs. He can only beat up on handicapped people and people like Rosie O'Donnell. Now, if he's trying to pick Rosie O'Donnell up, now that might be tough. But instead of trying to pick her up and lift her up and help a woman, he want to beat her down. Why? It's called liberal on liberal crime. That's what it was. The promoters of black on black crime can't handle it. Liberals are not tough. Liberals do parliamentary tricks and then complain about the same thing coming back onto them. Anthony Scalia was tough. How? Because he stood his ground and he can explain it and not demand anybody to treat him nice. Anthony Scalia was tough, and he's going to be trying to get replaced by somebody who's going to be soft. You know what else is tough? Our Constitution is tough. Because regardless of whatever these liberals might have think that they've done to circumvent our Constitution, it's still standing, and it's still their number one focus. After they did almost 60 years of getting set up the last 8, the Constitution is still there. Because it's tough. See, bullies go after tough stuff. But they do it with a whole bunch of words, not actions. They need too much help. A tough person can stand there by himself. A tough person can take a butt whooping like a man. That's what a tough person can do. Jesus Christ was tough. How do you know? Because the so-called bully attacked his silly cross. I don't like people to get put on a cross. Why? Because you ain't tough enough to be able to stand it. You can't even be put in the crosshairs of a news agency during the debate, let alone be on a cross. So of course we're expected for you to try to minimize Jesus' role. That's what wimps do. And they try to say it in a tough way. No, Jesus Christ was tough because he died for all of our sins. And you try to just live on somebody who don't want to get hung on a cross. You sure did hang your whole presidency on some poles. Jesus Christ was tough. They tried to put him behind a 3-ton boulder and he still moved the boulder. When they came back, he was gone. That's tough. You can't even stand behind 2 hours of cross-examination in the debate. You running away from your own words on videotape. Your own words on videotape, Mr. Tough Guy, has got you running through the courts trying to sue somebody. Make them erase my words. I wish it was Hillary because she would do it. I'm going to sue you if you don't apologize to me. Tough Guy? Come on. And I don't understand how anybody in our military can look at a Donald Trump and say he's tough and you want him to be your commander-in-chief. Come on, people. We done redefined the definition of tough. And that's totally un-American. What's tough is those conservative organizations that the IRS tried to shut up and didn't do it. They're tough. And the sad part about it, some of them conservative organizations is voting for a frickin' wimp. I'm Phil Williams, and that's my response to a tweet on The Phil Williams Show.